Okay, let's get back to Tolkien elves. Listen, talking to my sister the other day, she's not a long-time Tolkien fan. Like, she just recently watched the movies and got into the show Rings of Power. Never read the books, none of that. And she was talking about how when you watch the show, how they made it like Galadriel was getting bullied as a little kid by the boy elves because she's a girl, and Elrond wasn't able to attend certain things because he was half elven, or they wouldn't let him. And I was like, it's nonsensical. It's things that the show made. It's pure trash. The show just threw that stuff in. Let me tell you about, listen, first of all, Galadriel is one of the most powerful elves ever, with the ring or without the ring. And not just because she's the equivalent of a super athlete or a Olympian. She's described as being Amazonian. Not just that, she's a magical person. Like, the elves are magical. Especially the Noldor that saw the light of the trees, you know, that were born in Valinor. Like, she's special. But Elrond and Elrond and his brother Elros, they're even more special. I'm not saying that Elrond's more powerful than Galadriel, because he's not. But let me tell you why they're special. Listen, Elrond and Elros come from a bloodline that has some of the greatest mortals to ever exist. Maya, which is basically like an angel, you know what I'm saying? And some of the most legendary elves to ever exist. Listen, let me take you all the way back to Beren and Luthien. Luthien is the daughter of Thingol, one of the first elves born, and a Maya, which is an angel, the equivalent of Gandalf, Saruman, and what Sauron actually is in the Balrogs. You know what I'm saying? She's just a female that fell in love with an elf. That's Luthien's mother. So Luthien had special gifts, special magic that was within her. And Beren was a man that took on the mission to take a Silmaril from the crown of Morgoth. You know what I'm saying? Satan himself. Something that the sons of Fëanor and no other elf could do. And with the help of Luthien, he accomplished this. Beren and Luthien did something nobody else could ever do. You know what I'm saying? They were special. And when Beren passed away, Luthien tears, she passed away and she went to Mandos, and Mandos decided, you know what, I'll let y'all go back to Earth. Y'all can be mortals. Y'all can go back. Y'all just have to die a regular death. But these are some of Elrond's descendants. Not only him, Elrondil, his father, is also the product of a human and an elf. You know, matter of fact, they got human and elves in their bloodline multiple times. But they're some of the most legendary humans. You know, to my Turin, Hurin. I hope I said it right. I know my Texas accent be kicking y'all behind sometimes. It kicks my behind. I'm from Dallas specifically. I know it don't come off right, but you get what I'm trying to say. Turin, Hurin, some of the most legendary humans. But Elrondil, listen, Elrondil got on a ship and sailed to Valinor, something that he was never supposed to do because the Noldor were cursed. The Doom of Mandal said that they would never receive aid and would never be able to come back to Valinor. Not only that, Elrondil was half human. So when he landed, they wanted to kill him. They was like, he should be dead because as a man, he shouldn't be here. And as a Noldor, he shouldn't be here. But he was given a choice to be an elf or a human. And they said, you know what, he's part elven. So he can come here. But not only that, his wife Elwig, which is also a product of a male and a human and an elf. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, this is Beren and Luthien's direct descendant right here. You know what I'm saying? Elwig jumped in the ocean with a Silmaril because the sons of Fëanor, they started the third kinslaying and tried to kill her and take this Silmaril. Now, when she jumped into the ocean, one of the Valar raised up as a swan, and she landed on Elrondil's ship with this Silmaril. She was saved. You know what I'm talking about? The gods really looked after her. And looked out for him too, because they blessed Elrondil so much that they gave his ship the ability to fly and put the Silmaril in a crown or in a crown on his mast, so it could be seen in the sky. And when they had the final big war in the First Age, when the Valar and the elves that never left Valar went to Middle Earth to go whoop Morgoth's behind, Elrondil's ship fought Celegon the Black, the greatest, biggest, largest, most fearsome dragon that Morgoth ever created, and he slayed him. The dragon was so big, he fell and destroyed the whole fortress of Morgoth. That's how cold Elrondil was. Elrondil is special. He's still flying around in the earth to this day. Well, if Middle Earth, really existed, he still would be doing that. I just wanted to point that out because that's Elrond's father. That's Elrond's and Elrond's father. Not only that, the sons of Fëanor, the last two survived. Maglor and Mithros, the last two survived. They basically, after they tried to kill his parents, they kind of looked after the sons and kind of adopted them and damn near raised them. Now, this is something we don't talk about, but there's a lot of times in these stories I read, the parents just be like, F them kids. Just leave and never came back for them kids. Because Elwig and Elrondil, they never came back to Middle Earth. They just left Elrond and Elros there to their own devices. And Look, from my understanding, elves are still children until they like 100 years old. And they was like kids when this happened. But anyway, the last two sons of Fëanor basically raised them. So you know how much of a beast that made them as warriors, as people. The sons of Fëanor. Listen, man, listen. Elrond is a bad boy. So the fact that they tried to play him like he was some politician in the show, and you know what I'm saying, this meek, humble guy, and some of the other elves wouldn't accept him, and he couldn't rise up. No, that's not Elrond at all. Elrond was the herald of Gil-galad, the high king of the elves. He was the herald, meaning he preceded him in war. You know what I'm saying? He showed up to kick tail. He was the one that went to Eregion and tried to save Celebrimbor. It was Elrond for a reason. The man saw a battle for his whole life. That's what he did. He kicked tail and take names. I can't say the same for Galadriel, even though Galadriel is a bad girl. Like, she's one of the most powerful elves ever. You know, but she's more regal. She's more queen-like. You know what I'm saying? And she's more magical. That's why they thought she was like a witch or something like that. Like, she had special abilities. You know what I'm saying? But I just had to point that out, man. The show tried to make it look like these people were ostracized and they wasn't accepted when they were people that was really the LeBron James and Caitlin Clark of the race. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically who they were. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said, Elrond basically had an angel in his bloodline. Some of the greatest elves and the greatest men to ever exist in his bloodline. He was a bad boy. Elrond is that dude. So not only does he have great foresight and great healing ability, it's only accentuated by the ring that he has. He's already a magical creature, a magical person. You know what I'm talking about? His bloodline is A1 from day one. I just had to dispel that if anybody was confused after watching The Rings of Power. Junior!